Well, you've got some flame there, Andy.
Thanks. I'm on
You're a
fire.
flamer.
Showing your work.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'm excited for it. Today. We're on Show Your Work lesson 3, right? Do we want to recap the first two
What's
lessons?
happening? Hold, hold on a second. I must have something open in another window or something.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
Hello, everyone. We're here for Show Your Work. The last two lessons of Show Your Work were really interesting. The first week was don't go it alone and try to be a lone genius, but find a community. And then the second week was show your progress through documenting your process, like through b-roll and things like that. So those are kind of, we did a lot of showing our process, not the product. The last weekend we were together, we showed a lot of b-roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would agree to that. So from the last one, yeah, think process, not product. And we got some good questions from people. Like my friend Julie was asking me afterwards, like, what do you mean by B-roll? Because she's a filmmaker, and when she was thinking about B-roll, she was thinking like literally B-roll, like where you go and you film, say if you're on a location, you film all sorts of things just around that location. And
Mm,
she's like, I have hours and hours and hours of B-roll,
mm,
but I don't think you mean that we want to show that because that's kind of like boring and would need to be edited, right?
yeah. Well, I think of b-roll is documenting the process of making a thing.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. To me, also, I think we're using it in the context of like kind of like the behind the music, the,
Yeah.
kind of that like behind the creating the work is a human and they are a human with a life.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like Kimber says in the chat, like behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I think that's more what we meant by B-roll. And so yeah, so we like to start by talking about how we did or didn't incorporate these lessons in the last week. And this time, because of the holidays and because we were having our on-site here at my house,
Mhm.
doing our quarterly planning,
Yeah.
we had a few weeks. So how do you think
Well, I
what?
can comment on how you've been doing because I've been documenting process for a long time. Like I always show my process photographs of art projects, and the way I've curated what I show is through likes. Like I've been watching the crowd for about 15 years, and whenever there's process photos, they get so into the art project, kind of thing. So I always knew that people like process photos, and also, when I was dating my baby daddy, I'd be like working on a cross stitch and he just wanted to watch the process of the thing growing. And, like there's been a lot of people really interested in the process. So for me, this one wasn't like a new one. But for you, what I noticed was you shared a bunch of process things. You shared the process of your light bright thing, which people loved seeing. The latch hook, where you shared the process of like looking for the yarn for that. You showed there was several other process things that you showed, and for first of all, it was really nice to just see you show up. Like it's almost like you were there in the studio all of a sudden, like, oh, Jay-Z's here, so that was really nice that you were just there. And then also now we're all excited about how's the latch hook going to turn out, and like what's going on with those light bright things. Are you going to make another one, or so I found that it really worked for me to see that on your side.
Mhm.
How did it work for you to do it?
Yeah, it was good because, well, there's the thing too. We're still working out of our audience is mostly like on your Facebook page, and that's by choice, right? By both by my choice to not be promoting my own Facebook page as much and rather showing up on yours.
Uh-huh.
And your choice too of like gathering the people there, that being kind of like when we've been talking for the past few years, it's like center stage, it's the main stage of the circus, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm,
then other people's pages might be like other stages, but your thing is the main stage,
mhm.
right?
Right.
So it is a thing of like me trying to figure out how much to show up there, or what things people might or might not want to hear, and logistically how to do it, where they're to post and tag, or all of those things. So I think
I think you've been doing it perfectly. It's like it'd be like showing your friend, like, here, Andy, look. And so it's like you share it to my wall and then I look, right? So I do think you've been, but I do think that is a calibration. We all have to figure out how much to build up our own page, how much to go on. There's something called an influencer takeover, which is when someone goes to an influencer's page and takes it over. And that's a thing. Um, and so I think of when you show up on my page as like an influencer takeover. It's like you come over and take over the stage for a second. But like that's a perfect use case because the community is just gathered at my page, but it's not, that page isn't really about me anymore. And why is it under my name? Because if we change the name, we have to start from the beginning. So it's really more of a community there. So that is the place to share.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice, right on.
All right,
Well,
what's the lesson for today?
okay. And Kimber, I see you're here. If you have anything you want to share also about last time's lesson, think process, not product, let us know. And also, I think Julie was flying today, so she can't be here in the chat, but she might catch up with us later.
Okay.
Okay, so number 3, share something small every day. Now, again, Andy, I think these are kind of lessons that we've just naturally been doing. So it's cool to see like how they do seem to be effective, and what our experience has been so far. Okay, so share something small every day.
Okay, interesting. So, like, this makes sense with a lot of artists who make a big thing, or like Kimber and Jenna are making their show once a week, and so it's really easy to fall in the trap of like, I do my show once a week, so that's the only time I'm on stage. But really, this would say every day, pepper the crowd. And in this goes with the modern theoretics around marketing, because in everyday people are saturated with content nowadays, and so the only way to even make a dent is to show up. They say it's 19 times, and someone will all of a sudden notice you. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So it's like if you share something small every day, after 19 days, someone might take a look at your thing, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's totally true. Uh, the first thing is send out a daily dispatch. Now, when they say daily dispatch, that doesn't mean like an email or a text message or any one particular thing. And I think that you're very good at this, Andy. Like, you'll post something to your wall, or you send out your weekly email, or there are a lot of different media that we can use for our daily dispatch.
So how does he define daily dispatch?
Um, well, he doesn't. So,
Well, I just want to
how do
say
you
something.
define it?
I want to say something. So I read this book called The Writing on the Wall: 3,000 Years of Social Media, because
Mm-hmm.
people think that Facebooking is like the only time we've ever done this in history. But what this book was saying is that people have done this forever. Before it was Facebook, it was like in ancient Greece, it would be like a wall, and people would write the news of the day on the wall. They'd be like, my art, I found yarn for my latch hook. It would be like written on their wall, and then people come in and read the wall, and like then it turned into letters. Like people would send out letters, and all this kind of stuff. And like people have been sending out dispatches,
Mm-hmm.
daily dispatches, for thousands of years. Actually, the current way that we do it is now on things like social media, but it's people have been doing it forever.
Right? If you're a graffiti artist, maybe like making a tag on a wall would be a daily
Yes.
dispatch. There are some examples given, like it could be anything you want: a blog post, an email, a tweet, a YouTube video, some other little bit of media.
Oh,
I
interesting.
I think the point is that if you do something on one day, that's the impact that you're making. And then if you do that every day for a month, that's the impact that you're making. And then if you do that every day for a year, here's what happens.
Wow. Wow.
And you and I have been talking about this too for a few years, how like this is our opus, right? We're building an opus as artists,
Interesting.
and we're leaving a trail of all of our artwork. And then when somebody wants to curate it, including us,
Mhm.
or draw from it, or like if you do something small every day, then it's just whatever you're into that day. And then as it accrues over time, you yourself as an artist will see themes developing.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I love that. Like if you paint a little 1 inch by 1 inch square every day, after a month you have a 30. You know, it's just and on the internet, the way it looks like is a splash. Like if you share once, it's just nothing. But if you share every day, it's like this little trickle effect of like then this person saw it, and then this person saw it, or what, or you saw yourself. Like I love that when I like go to look at my YouTube channel, which it has 692 videos, I think, and that's just from daily doses, right? Well, now when I look at my YouTube channel, I see myself. I'm like, oh, that is so me. That's just like that's just so it's like maybe Kimber, we're just starting to see Kimber and Jenna of like we're seeing them talking and some topics that they're into. But like when we start doing those YouTube videos of like a day in the life and morning routine, it's like we're gonna start to see more of them. And then over time we'll start to see them like Kimber, Jenna, Jay-Z. It's more of a robust reflection of all the parts of your chart as an aggregate together make you up kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think the important thing too is like this isn't just for visual artists or video content creators or anything like that, because I myself, I'm a hacker, and I like playing like these hacker games. There are sites, they're called like Try Hack Me or Hack the Box, or there are these different sites where you can get an account, and then people have set up systems that have a flaw that you can figure out and hack the system and get root on it, and there you capture a flag to show that you've been there. But sometimes you get stuck, and when you get stuck and you are struggling and struggling and struggling, and sometimes you just got to give up because like how you need a hint, right? And so people have written like walkthroughs, so they'll give you like little hints on how to do it, how to get to the past something that you might be stuck on.
Uh-huh.
Now there's a certain author of write-ups that are these walkthroughs, and I was looking at his blog today, and when you see he's been doing this for years, for like he's got 2025 write-ups, 2024 write-ups, 2023 write-ups, and you can go back to the beginning of his history on his first write up where he's saying, I want to get better at doing these write ups. I want to start a streak of like doing a hacker exercise every day. And then you see like that he's got a badge of like having done it for a whole month, having done it for 6 months, having done it for 750 days is what he's up to now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, you remember when we were recording at your house and we did She Talks to Angels, and like you were like, "Oh, I feel like I'm under a lot of pressure." And I just calmly was just like, "All right." And I just waited till you calmed down and then like press record. One of the reasons I'm like that is because I really believe in the daily dispatch of like it's better to record your messed up guitar today and release it and have it be part of your opus than to have silently learned She Talks to Angels perfectly and then I read this quote the other day: "Imperfect action is better than perfect inaction."
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so it's like I'd rather hear you play "She Talks to Angels" with a few wrong chords as part of your opus than to miss that daily dispatch.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
That's just my style of art. Is like, and also as astrologers, we want to see a person's whole chart. Like we're trying to see a portrait of the person's soul expressed, not just their physical body or not just their basic personality. We want to see like all aspects of their chart come out, right? So it's like, I think getting more content on a person is part of our art form here at the Moyer Press, is like collecting the soul, not just one piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah, cool. And there's a couple other pictures I want to show you here. Oh, well, here, so here's this Sturgeon's Law is like 90% crap, 10% not crap. But unless you do everything, then you're not going to get to the better stuff.
Oh, interesting. So it's important to, you know, like that Rise Up video you did. For some
Mhm.
reason, we love that Rise Up video. Like, it has 87 views, and you only have like 23 subscribers. So we know that like 23 of us have listened to that thing like 6 times each, or like I've listened to it like 25 times. Like, there's something about that one video that I'm just like, this is a banger. Like, I like this one. And if you wouldn't have made all that kind of other videos, that one video wouldn't have come out, and that wouldn't have been like the banger.
Right, right. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, there's a bit of like let's see. Okay. I just want to show you this other picture, which is more of the like, you're putting all this stuff out. This is your flow. Your flow is putting something small out every day. See, some are triangles, some are squares, whatever. But if they're all out there, once they're out there, you can look and see like, wait, all of these kind of go together, all of these kind of go together. And that's just showing that your flow
That's
with daily
playlisting.
stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then your these collected structures are, yeah, your playlists or a curated show of like all of your blue paintings, or that time when I was into beading icons or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you should see the icon I'm beating now. My daughter, dude, she won't let me show her face, but this one is just a banger. Okay, so Kimber's saying this is what's cool about Facebook or blogging. You can share in different mediums depending on what you're feeling. Absolutely, because if we're going to share authentic to the chart and the transits, we want to do what we're feeling each day, right? That's part of the daily dispatch, is like dispatch what you're feeling. Don't force yourself to do another thing, you know? Instagram was pressured to post a visual picture, which definitely drove down less sharing for me because I love tweeting. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's interesting because Kimber, you and I are, I think, probably opposite in this. Like, it takes me forever to figure out how to word anything. But what I was using Facebook for when I first got back on Facebook was I would post a picture of the sunrise from my back deck every single morning. And I didn't even want to have to write anything. I just wanted to show a picture of sunrise. That's so interesting.
Well, and maybe that would have been a really great Instagram post since that's a visual format.
Yeah, I probably would be better on Instagram than I am on Facebook because I just don't, I'm not very good at figuring out what to say.
Well, okay, Kimber, am I allowed to talk about your chart? Okay. Well, and I think, okay, so no, but playlisting, I'm not joking. Like, okay, so what we had to do is like, in the YouTube channel, when we started making, you remember we made a commitment to start making videos like daily. Basically, there was a point where we started to just run YouTube every day, an hour,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden things started to break out into playlists. Like, here's the Jay-Z playlist, and now there's, and I think that has like 97 videos in it now. But like, now there's the Kimber playlist, and there's the Jenna playlist, and like, then there's the Stardoll playlist, and then now there's the AG music playlist, and it's like there's all these aspects of the personality that do over time, if we cyclically express, congregate into obvious parts of the personality. Like, you could
Mm-hmm.
have hacking videos, like where you show yourself hacking or something like that, and then there's like, I don't know, Magic the Gathering, and like, you know, kind of thing. And I think playlisting is very it makes a cohesive structure out of seemingly random events, and that's a really good thing. But Kimber, I was going to say, your Mercury Saturn conjunction, that's so Twitter. It's like you have to get it down to like 40 words. That's Mercury Saturn for you. Jay Z
Oh,
Pluto
structured talk.
Uranus, so he's like, he's not. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I see. Structured talk. Yeah, my Mercury is opposed my Uranus and Pluto. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, also my Mercury's in Pisces, and it's just a little too dreamy to be coherent.
Yeah. My God, I love
That's
this. I love this lesson because I think one of the things people, okay, so we had this struggle with a new artist that was working with us. And we posted 33 videos of her in a few months. And there was this point where she got to where she's like, well, there's too much posting and people are losing the mystique about me and this and that. And I had to show her the video where we basically talk about like if you're having low numbers, that's the crowd coming and going, and you keep producing. You don't stop because your numbers are low. You keep producing and they come and go, right? But a lot of artists have this feeling that when they're putting out too much content, they're flooding their crowd, or they're becoming non-mysterious, they're boring, they're daily, they're mundane. What do you think of that, Jay-Z?
Oh, I think that's kind of a cop out. I think that, yeah, sure, but then no, actually, no.
Well, I do think being sparse is more mysterious, I guess. But I think what's really interesting to me about the WWF wrestling is they're on camera every day of the year and they create mystique every day of the year in front of the crowd's face. Now that I think is amazing. You know,
Yeah, yeah, it's more interesting. See, and Jenna's with me. Her Leo son agrees. It's a cop out to say like, "Oh no, I can't do too much of it because then people will get sick of me." Because like, don't do things that people will be sick of. Don't be boring, but just like do your thing, and that's what's interesting.
well, that's what I was going to say. Is you got to be interesting to yourself and others. Part of showing your work is having work to show. It's like what people the crowd likes is when someone has an act. Like, what's your act? You know
Right.
what is
And I think maybe that gets to this. They have a part of this as the so what test. Like, uh, it's what to show, right? So, I maybe disagree not to show sunsets if sunsets are your thing, right? But don't show your lunch every day or your latte or whatever. Don't show your dog or your cat unless that's your thing and that's what your thing is,
yeah? Like some
right?
people dress their cat up, and that is their work. You know,
Yeah. Like Merlin is a circus cat. Like that is a cool thing to show,
right?
because it's your artistry, it's your work. So show your artwork, your work from your perspective. So it does have to have some kind of bar of like, why are you showing this? Um, Yeah. So in this book that I was just reading about communication, there's a shortcut that you might want to think about, and it's called WAIT, like wait, like before you interrupt somebody or before you say what you were going to say, you answer the question yourself, why am I talking?
Oh, interesting.
So maybe before you post, you think like, what is this showing? Is this part of my artwork? And then you answer the question yes, and then you post it. Just do it. What do you
Yeah.
think about that? Is that too critical?
Well, no, I agree. Like, I'm not a big fan of showing your food, baby, or cats. As a producer, I get offended by boring content. I mean, like, I don't really get offended, but I'm saying is that if there's something that offends me, it's mundane content. Or a lot of people like to talk to me a lot about like their doctor's appointment, all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, not for show. Like we don't care about your doctor's appointment. But now, if you're a star and you got liver cancer or something like that, like one of our people has that situation, then it's by showing your medical journey that is reminding people that you may die. It's almost like making yourself posthumous in the current. That is part of your show. So it kind of depends. If you're just like, I went to the doctor today because I have a cold, it's just like, nah, cutting room floor, no. But if it's like, now I have cancer and I might die tomorrow, come watch my show. Like, I don't know, it really depends. But I think mundane content is different than show your work. Like, okay, here I showed this today. It's where the planets are. but it's like it's relevant content is what it's called when you share content that's relevant to people. Like people get to look at this, you know what I mean? But if what's like not relevant content? I don't know. Here, if I was just like, here are my scissors. Well, that might be relevant because
Yeah,
I'm
your
doing
sisters.
something.
Probably anything around you right there is relevant or can be relevant.
But
That
maybe
is
if I showed
interesting.
like my paper clips, like maybe that wouldn't be relevant. I mean, I guess you brought it up with the question: why am I talking? Why are you showing this thing that you're showing? Is it relevant or useful?
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, Jen is gonna be a villain and post pictures of her cats. That is so good.
That's awesome because then she'll ask the question, "Why am I posting a picture of my cat?" To be a villain.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I guess, and Debbie D's out there too, agreeing that it's like you ask the question, and then if it's fine to answer. I know why. It doesn't have to be some huge reason, but you just
Well,
thought,
like
and you answered the question.
like Shane has 4 cats, and cats are part of his brand. Cats are a spirit guide and all this kind of stuff, and he says he is cat, right? Well, for him, cats might be relevant because he's like the crazy cat guy or whatever. But
Yeah.
for someone of but you showing your cat right now might be part of your storyline because you just got a cat and you didn't have a cat. But
Hmm.
like if all of a sudden all we get is like boring cat pictures, then that's not your work. That's not work.
Yeah. Right on.
Okay.
All right, so let's recap. We got a few minutes left. What we want to tell people is what I've learned anyway, this in this episode through talking with the chat and with you, Andy, is that maybe you have to try different things of showing your work every day and find your best format and then like ignore the other ones. Like you don't have to post on Facebook if you're really an Instagram person or the other way around. You do something that is like that it highlights your ability to communicate your creativity.
Well, and actually, research shows that it's better to be really active on one format than display yourself around a bunch of formats. Like, for example, I was told to go on Instagram. I tried it for a month. I was like, don't like it, not my thing, back to Facebooking. But I think having multiple formats is good. Like, Kimber could tweet and Facebook and YouTube. 3 formats, bam, 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 depending on her feeling.
Mm.
Like, like we do some things on YouTube. Sometimes we live stream. Sometimes we do closed YouTube videos. Like, we cycle through formats depending on what the content is and where it's best expressed as well. But don't feel
Yeah.
like you have to display yourself on a bunch of media. That research shows that that's actually not the best way to do it.
Yeah. Cool. And I'm excited because we've got a lot of things going on here. And like we mentioned, like we were just doing our planning for the quarter, right? And so the kinds of things that we've agreed and committed to are like live streams like this, and then little videos. Like the first one's going to be on this Friday. We're each going to do an art tutorial video. So those will be things that we create and edit, but then all of us release them on the same day. And then some live shows like the open mic show. And then we've got some other things that we're doing in along with this, like show your work, we're doing a project jam where we're going to invite people to just join us and just kind of have a project night where everybody's just working on their own project, but we're in the same online room together. What else do you want to say about anything like that, Andy?
Well, what I really want to say is the lesson of today is it's better to show up in tiny daily doses than to show up once a month with a big, huge splash. I mean, I really believe that. It's like, this is what I hate about being in bands. Like, everyone wants me to be in a band because I play music. And it's like, I did that when I was younger. But what I don't like about playing in bands is you work in the background all this time to then show a show once a month or something like that. I'm like, not
Mhm.
enough splashes for me. Like, I splash my music every day. Like, if I have to play my piano for a day without someone hearing it, I feel like I'm wasting I don't know, God's creation or something. I mean, but it's just like that's because I've learned the daily dispatch of let's hear Jenna working on her piano. Like we want to hear it as she's in process. We want to see her cats crawling all over her piano. But Yeah, I love the peppering the crowd, and then I love that picture about how we can organize it into playlists later, right? Figure out who you are, do a year of daily posts, and then figure it all out and sort it out into playlists.
Nice.
This is such a good book, JZ. Thank you so much for bringing it to our attention.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say to Jenna, it has to be more than 32 pictures of your cat in order for you to be a villain. And I'm gonna have to start after my current light bright. I'll gonna do a Me Too light bright.
Nice. Your light is looking rad.
Maybe that'll.
Debbie, we're super excited you're getting in the mix too, and we would love to see more of you in the monitor as well. So thank you, Debbie, Kimber, and Jenna, for showing up. We love having you on the production team. All right,
Yeah.
we gotta close the room. All right, see y'all later.
Bye.